In 1221, the massacres committed by Tolu, the son of Genghis Khan, forced the Oghuz clan to emigrate to Asia Minor, where the Seljuks gave them land nearest to the Byzantines. Little did they know, but this clan of refugees would grow into a flourishing empire with its roots in 3 continents. Now the Mongols began to adopt Islam after their brutal expansion into the Muslim world, and their abandonment of harsh Mongol practice led to a succession dispute. The slow collapse of the Mongols and the Seljuks allowed petty rulers to claim independence. One of these clans would be known as the Ottomans. Now the founder Osman's beginning is a bit of a mystery. The sources of his existence are far few, and his beginnings are plagued with a plethora of legends and myths. Even his name raises some questions, with its Arab connotation being distinct from his father Artur and his son Orhan. The Byzantine historian Pachymeres called him Ottoman, and this is where the name Ottoman has come into the English vernacular. His strict adherence to Islam and his intention for expansion led him to direct his sword to Europe. Leading raids against Byzantine cities such as Iznik and Bursa, he was able to gather support from other Turkic beyliks, petty states, principalities. He imitated Seljuk policy, dividing his beylik into 3 principalities, each commanded by an uchbey, a commander. Using initially marriage, battle, purchases, his real conquest began in 1300, when the collapse of the Seljuks allowed him to occupy Eskişehir and Karacahisar. This growing menace attracted the attention of the Byzantine Empire, and they dispatched an army against him, which he ambushed and destroyed at Koyunhisar, forcing the local population to Izmit, while other Ottoman forces approached Bursa and took Yenişehir. The battering of Byzantine forces helped Osman to gain profound fame among the other Turkic principalities in the region, and they started to flock to him. Andronicus II struck a deal with the Persian Mongol ruler and invaded. However, surprisingly, they were defeated by his son Orhan, with the Seljuks ceasing to exist, and the Mongol Ilkhanate in disarray. Raiding and conquest continued with Orhan, taking Bursa in 1326 after his father's death. This would eventually become the first Ottoman capital. One of the reasons for the Ottomans' initial success was Osman's skill and intelligence to focus conflict on the weakening Byzantines and hold off raids to fellow Turkic tribes. Another reason for this success was the location. While other Turkic tribes were forced to give regular payments and provide men, the Ottomans did not have to accept Ilkhanate suzerainty, as the Mongol concentration in the east gave them ample freedom. The capturing of Bursa, minting of coins, and Orhan's name being recited during the Friday switched the dynamic of this tiny principality, and now we see the seeds of an empire being planted. It was the tiny feudal states in the Balkans who tightened control by increasing taxes and imposing heavy labor burdens that had allowed the Ottomans to expand. By reversing into a centralized regime, this shift away from feudalism is the major point that helped the Ottomans advance so quickly. Orhan institutionalized the policy of conquest. After routing Andronicus III in 1328 at Maltepe, the remaining Byzantine cities in Anatolia were left to their peril, and the Ottomans took Izmit and Üsküdar. Orhan gained Karachi due to internal divisions from other Turkic principalities, and this brought them dangerously close to Byzantines, allowing them to get involved in their quarrels and set up raids. The Ottoman state now included 4 provinces: the original Principality of Suud and Eskişehir, Bursa, Iznik, Izmit, and the former Principality of Karachi. In 1346, Kadikuzin used Orhan to take full control of the Byzantine throne from co-emperor Paleolo. He led 5,500 troops into Thrace and conquered the coastal region of North Constantinople from Anna Savoy, Paleolo's mother, allowing Kadikuzin to take the throne. He married Theodora, the daughter of Kadikuzin, and was allowed to raid Gallipoli and Thrace without opposition, and he used this opportunity not only to raid, but to make conquests. Again we see the Ottomans getting more experience in battle in the Balkans, when the Serbian Emperor Stefan Dusan took Salonika from the Byzantines. So with the Byzantine fleet, Orhan's son Suleiman Pasha and his 20,000 strong troops routed the Serbians and regained it for Kadikuzin. In 1352, with Kadikuzin routed a Bulgarian and Serbian allied force of John V at Demotika, and Suleiman was given the fort of Chimpe, and he turned it into a base for further expeditions. With the help of Genoa, who wanted to stop Venetian commercial dominance with the Byzantine Empire, he used it to raid and establish permanent rule in a number of towns. Cantacuzene protested the conquest and said Chimpe was given as a temporary base. However, Orhan replied Islamic law stated that land conquered from infidels could not be surrendered. Meanwhile, an Ottoman tradition stated an earthquake occurred, leading the Ottomans to believe that this was a sign from God that they should remain in the region. Gallipoli became the base of Ottoman European conquests. Cantacuzene's role in bringing the Ottomans into Europe allowed Paleologs to reclaim the throne. However, he was only able to strike a deal to allow food and supplies into Constantinople and had to acknowledge Orhan's conquest. Orhan, wanting to cement his place, sent Turkic nomads into Thrace to Turkify the region. Orhan died in 1360, leaving it double in size and placed it in a crucial position to expand. By providing the Byzantines with military help, he was able to help his fledgling empire gain valuable experience on how to combat Balkan powers and know-how of the terrain. Orhan would leave his empire in a position to dominate Europe for the next couple of centuries.